Welcome to 3 Expert Tips with Annette Talley, where top experts in the real estate world give you tips and tricks to grow your business. Here's your host, Annette Talley.
Welcome to 3 Expert Tips. I am your host, Annette Talley, and my guest today is Alina Trigub. Welcome, Alina.
Hi, Annette. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
It's such a pleasure to have you here because we met at the Raising Money Summit in October last year, and you gave an amazing presentation, and I'm so happy that you are here with us today.
It's my pleasure, and thanks for the compliment.
So let me tell you guys about Alina. She is the founder and managing partner of SAMO Financial. It is a boutique private equity firm specializing in helping a select group of people passively invest in the commercial real estate. Alina welcomes warm introductions of accredited investors that are looking for help to preserve their wealth, find ways to save on taxes, and make additional passive streams of income. Alina's business model has been articulated well by Warren Buffett, indicating that someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Alina is the founder of 2 Meetup group named The Power of Passive Investing Through Real Estate, which gather in New York and New Jersey. In addition, Alina offers educational seminars in collaboration with various administrators of self-directed IRA companies. Topics revolve around aspects of getting started investing in syndications by using funds in solo 401k or self-directed retirement plans. Alina has helped her clients to acquire and invest in over 1,200 apartment doors and over 10 million fund focused on self-storage. Wow, Alina, that's impressive.
Thank you. Thank you, Annette.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into real estate.
Certainly. So my education started in business school where I was getting my degree in accounting, and I started out as a tax accountant initially, worked in the field for a little while, but never really liked it. So I left accounting altogether and went into software development industry. And while working in software development industry, I have always been thinking about taxes and how to lower taxes. And as my and my husband's incomes were growing, obviously the tax brackets were growing and the tax implications were growing. And I had always been looking for ways to minimize those tax hits. And that means that real estate has been on my mind for many, many years, but I never really took action until about 6 or 7 years ago when I started researching real estate further and came across the world of syndications. So it piqued my interest, and I digged a little deeper and decided that this was the type of investment that I wanted to do. And I started investing as a passive investor, or equity partner, as I call it. Invested in one syndication, then another and another. And after doing it for several years and realizing the benefits, I thought that this was a great method of passive investing that nobody around me really knew. And, I'm just talking about surrounding my coworkers, friends, family, people that I know of. And given that my education was in accounting and then MBA in finance, I thought that people that I know also have similar background in education. So if people in financial industry don't know about this, then what about the rest of the folks that are around me? And I need to bring this to market. I need to share it with other people that there are ways to make money completely passively without any interruption to their day-to-day life. And not only that, also you make money, you save on taxes, and then when we buy and renovate property, you're actually making a positive impact on the community because you're beautifying the place. So I thought this was huge. And that's how I started my company. And when I had that idea of helping other people to build that wealth through this passive real estate investing. So that was my journey.
Awesome, awesome. So today, Alina is gonna share with us 3 tips on how to raise money for your investing.
Sure. So real estate is a relationship business. And when you establish a relationship with someone, what people are looking for, especially if they want to invest, they're looking for the track record. So when you come into someone, you have to, before you come to someone and approach someone as a potential investor, you need to make sure that you either have the experience and the track record yourself, or your partner with the experienced investor. And when talking to potential investors, rule and tip number one, make sure you know the industry, you educate yourself, and you understand what you're doing. So educating yourself beforehand, full understanding what you're doing, and ideally having the track record is gonna set you up for success. So rule number one and tip number one is educate yourself. Tip number two is never lose your investors' money. And what it really means is anytime you decide to partner up with someone or work with someone and bring investors to the deal, make sure that you've done your detailed due diligence on the deal, make sure that it makes sense, make sure that not only the numbers are correct, but also the strategy makes sense, and you validated everything to the best of your knowledge, to the best of your abilities, and you truly do believe that this deal will succeed, and your investors will be making money as per the expectations in the underwriting. That's tip number two. And tip number three is to never forget tip number two.
I love that.
It's really important because your investors are trusting you their money. They essentially putting all the trust in you as a person. So you want to retain that trust because only that will allow you to grow your business, bring more investors in, and build it into something bigger and better down the road. So if people are trusting you, make sure that you retain the trust for many years, and you prove them to be right to be trusting you.
And that's so important because they say that people don't necessarily invest on the deal, but they invest on the person
Correct.
presenting the deal. So if
Yep.
you have their trust, they are going to keep investing with you, not only on that first deal, but if you perform as promised, then they are going to probably invest with you a second, third, fourth time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it all comes down to establishing and building those relationships. You build a relationship with the person, they learn more about you, about the strategy of your company, how you're going to implement that strategy, what kind of deals you've done in the past, what kind of deals you're expecting to do in the future. And then, you make sure that the interests are aligned. Because if the interests are not aligned, or you as an investor and the operator are not speaking the same language, and I don't mean the same language as English, I mean not aligned in general, not understanding each other, then just move on, find someone else. Don't invest with this operator, because you want to make sure that you're comfortable with the operator, you're comfortable with the way they're approaching business, with their strategy, with the way they underwrite properties, and with the type of strategies they're implementing and the type of properties they're investing. So that's very, very important for
Yeah,
you
and
as
like
an
you
investor.
feel comfortable asking questions, right?
Yep,
Like if they
absolutely.
cannot answer the questions that you are asking, maybe not a good idea to invest with them.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
I was approached by somebody to do to partner and raise money, and I asked what happens you know if we don't raise enough money, and he couldn't answer that. Like, so I
That's
was
a
like,
red flag.
okay, awesome, but no thanks.
Yep. Yeah, that's a red flag. That's a red flag
Yeah.
for you.
So yeah, definitely, education is so important too. Like you gotta know when you're presenting an opportunity to an investor, you gotta know what you're talking about. Know your market. That's
Yeah, yeah,
an excellent point.
yeah. If you haven't educated yourself, if you're not understanding what you're presenting, then it's gonna show, and that's gonna impact your credibility, and the investors are just gonna move on and go with someone else.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alina. That was amazing. And tell us, where can
Sure.
people find you? What's your social media links?
People can find me on alinatrigub.com or samofinancial.com or Facebook, LinkedIn, Bigger Pockets, Instagram.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for adding so much value to my audience.
It's my pleasure, Matt.
This was 3 Expert Tips with Annette Talley, brought to you by Talley Investments. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Our goal is to provide amazing value to your real estate journey. Connect online at www.talleyinvestments.com, where you can find this episode and more. Did you like this episode? Subscribe, like, and share.